First, what a great college baseball game, right? 4-2, both teams out there battling. Fortunately, Henry Godbout put a good swing on the ball in that second inning, and I thought Penn had an outstanding approach against Joe Savino. They did a great job, but he gutted it out and got us through that first part of the game. And Chase Hungate was outstanding. Chase has done the job for this team all year long when we've been winning, and it was time to go to him, and he was fantastic. Just pounded the strike zone and did what he does and executed. Certainly there were a number of offensive opportunities that we didn't capitalize on. We're not perfect, right? And that's a credit to Penn. They ran a couple of pretty good arms out there that executed above our hands and with the fastball, and did a terrific job. Obviously a great play there by the second baseman in the 8th inning. But just, really proud of our guys. It doesn't matter how you win. You have to find a way, and that was a total team effort, and played great defense. Bobby Whalen, a couple of plays in center field were really, really great. So just, proud of how our guys hung in there and didn't get frustrated when we weren't as opportunistic as maybe we have been all year. But I've learned over the years that, when it gets to be postseason baseball in the NCAA tournament, you can throw out the window whatever you've done all year. It's a new time of the year. It just means a little bit extra. And so, just proud that we walked away winning a close ball game. And I'd just like to end with what a great crowd and atmosphere. I want to thank our fans for coming out and supporting us. That's the best crowd that I've ever seen in this stadium for a first game of a regional. We've had some pretty good ones, but that by far is the most, and we need our fans for the rest of this thing, and that was an outstanding showing to start us off.
Thank you. We'll take questions now for the student athletes. Just raise your hand and your name and affiliation. And guys, if you just want to pass the microphone back and forth to each other, that'd be great. Sorry, Jeff White, and then Frank, and then Prescott.
Jeff White from VirginiaSports.com. Chase, you had the one appearance in the NCAA tournament last year. It was a one-sided game against Army, but having pitched on that stage, did that help you going into this year's tournament going into today?
Yeah, for sure. I think being able to have some experience with that in my freshman year as well definitely helped. Being able to be comfortable in that environment and just having that experience. But just having the team that I'm on and the defense behind me just makes it a lot easier and more confident. So, yeah.
Great.
John, welcome. Standing ovation from the crowd. What's your feeling and emotion as you're coming off and you're in the crowd?
Yeah, like Coach said, this place, I can't stop smiling. This place is amazing. The crowd, the atmosphere, everything about it is amazing. Even talking to Brian Edgington last year, and just seeing it on TV as well. It's amazing, and I can't thank the fans enough for their support all season. And like Coach said, we're going to need them, the rest of this weekend, the way out. So.
Prescott.
Y'all haven't had many games like this year where it's such a low-scoring game. Just kind of, what does it show you as a pitching staff? You can kind of control the offense, even when your offense is putting up 10 runs like they normally do.
Right. I think going into this game, for me personally, I just wanted to make sure I executed one pitch at a time. And let the execution of it pay off. And like Chase did today, that's what the guys in the pen work for. To pick me up, I had a 4-pitch walk in that last inning, and Chase comes in and gets out of it, and eventually throws up 3 more zeros for us to win the game. And our Penn guys, they do a fantastic job with that. And later in the year, we've pitched really well, especially out of the Penn. So that's what they work for, and it paid off today. Yeah, especially being hurt the first 2.5 months. We made it really intentional with the comeback and the process of being ready for times like this at the later end of the year. To hopefully put us in a position to win on our chance to on our way to Omaha. So it's definitely good. I felt really good out there, and the defense behind me, it makes it a lot easier, like Chase said, to pitch because like plays like Bobby Whalen, and just everybody out there. It just makes it a lot easier to pitch, to contact and get outs. So yeah.
Yep. And then Chuck.
All right, Kip Coons, press box to you. Joe, you mentioned Brian Edgington, kind of a two-part question. First, how much did his success or talking to him recruit you here? And was there ever a time when you wondered, am I even going to pitch this year? Is this just going to be a washout?
Yeah, even just watching Brian last year and what he did, especially the Super Regional game where he pitched the complete game, and talking to him, while I was transferring, he said it's everything that I could have ever wanted, and it's certainly lived up to it. It's everything I could have ever wanted, and I thought that college baseball is, and even more. And he's just said this is the right fit for me, and talking to the coaches as well, it was definitely the right fit for me. Yeah, and it was kind of an attest to trusting, the process, having patience with, my elbow discomfort in the beginning of the year, and just trusting it. I mean, we took a kind of a slower route, I would say, to coming back, but this is what we prepared for, and I'm just so grateful to be, 100% out there again.
Chuck.
Chuck from baseball. Joe, you mentioned the smile. What does this experience mean to you? Talk about those trials and tribulations. I'm sure you want to be out there trying to prove yourself, your teammates and whatnot, not really getting that opportunity early to finally be able to do it and to continue to do it on this stage.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's amazing, and it's everything that we have worked for throughout the year. All the countless hours at practice and games where we've fought and come back. It's everything that we worked for, and it certainly lived up to it, and it was everything I could have asked for. So.
And Parker.
Yeah, Parker Coleman, CBS 17 Sports. Joe, we've heard from you, Coach. You have a really big smile on your face as Joe's been talking. What is it like for you as a coach to watch him fight through that injury and now perform in the way that you did on the biggest stage?
Go ahead.
Sure. I distinctly remember last year talking to Joe on the phone. I was actually watching a high school baseball game, a workout over at St. Anne's Belfield, and had a long conversation with Joe on sharing with him why I believe that this is the right opportunity for him. That first and foremost that we'd look out after him and take care of him, and when he wasn't able to pitch at the beginning of the year, just to make sure that he was ready. And this is why these kind of guys come here, is they want an opportunity, maybe in their last year or whenever it is. Jacob Ferentz, Bobby Whalen, Blake Barker, other guys that there's been a history and tradition here of having the opportunity that they had today, and certainly the trips to Omaha and things like that. So they want that moment in their life, and they want to be challenged at the highest level. And I'm just, extremely grateful that Joe made this decision, that this is the right place for him, because you evaluate a player through the transfer portal process, and you determine, one, does he have the ability to play or pitch for you, but two, is it the right fit? And not everybody's the right fit, but the fiber of what Joe Savino is about, I just felt like it was the perfect fit and in line with what we do here at the University of Virginia.
Any other questions for the student athletes before we go back to the coaching time? All right, Greg, one more.
Yeah, Jason, extended outings throughout your time, but coming out of the NBA, is your mentality going in to finish the game and get through three and third, or are you just trying to make sure you get out of that jam first? What's your approach in that situation?
Yeah, I don't think the approach really changes regardless of the situation. I think you just got to take one pitch and one batter at a time, and just execute one pitch and let the defense do the work as they have all year, and just trust the offense as well as they've also done all year. And as a baseball player, that's kind of what, especially as a pitcher, that's kind of what you live for and play the game for. So it's the best feeling that you can have. So.
Thanks, guys. You can stick around or head back to the clubhouse. All right, we'll take questions for Coach Brown. We'll start in the second row right on the left-hand side.
Coach, obviously, scheduling the game early gives you the benefit of kind of having some time to rest. What's
Sure.
the next 24 hours look like for you and your staff to prepare for a road?
Well, we've certainly we've done a lot of preparation already on the other two opponents in this regional. We'll continue that. We'll watch tonight's game and prepare for whoever we play tomorrow night. And just the players need to get off their feet. It's part of the reason I like to play this first game is they can step back, get the game done, and step back and kind of watch who you might play tomorrow night, and just get off their feet, have a nice dinner with their families. I'm sure almost all their families are here this weekend, and just kind of enjoy the moment. And it always brings a smile to my face whenever this night game happens. You see a number of players walking around the concourse, just taking in the environment and what it means to be able to host an NCAA regional. And then, we as a staff have, will be continued to prepare through the night tonight and then all day tomorrow to get ready for whoever we play at 6 o'clock and focus on that ball game.
As you go forward in this regional, how beneficial is it to have one on day one without having to deep into it?
Well, I think it's, it's really important. I mean, you just use these two guys to win game one, and that's because Chase Hungate did such a great job of just pounding the strike zone, and so that's always in the back of your head when you're thinking of managing a game. All right, take care of what's in front of you. It takes what it takes, and we would have used whoever we needed to use to win today's ball game. But you're also in the back of your mind that you're in it to win it, and part of that is winning the first game, but it's also knowing what you have in front of you as well. So to use just two pitchers, I mean, Chase was out there and was incredibly efficient. To throw 3 1/3 and just throw 31 or 33 pitches is impressive. So he'll be ready to go whenever we need him again, and it just gets you off to a great start. You can get yourself in a little bit of trouble unless you just go out there and slug every game. You can get yourself in trouble as you get to the back part of the regional if you have to use too many guys. So feel great about that.
Ryan from Delta, a big picture question. Kevin McMullen's been here with you since the beginning. You guys have talked a lot about what consistency means to this program. But what has Kevin McMullen meant to the program?
Well, Kevin McMullen's meant everything. He was my first call when I was actually considering the job at Virginia. When Craig Littlepage called me and we started having extensive conversations, I reached out to Mac. At that time, he was managing the Atlanta Braves A-ball team in Danville, Virginia, and had coached against him. He was the hitting coach at St. John's when I was the assistant at Notre Dame, and just loved his hitter's approach and his mentality, and just reached out to him right away and said, "Hey, Mac, if I get this job here at Virginia, would you consider coming back to college baseball?" And he said 100%. And so we continued to stay in touch every day through that summer. Once I accepted the job, I knew Mac was going to come with us, but he needed to fulfill his commitment with the Atlanta Braves organization and coach them throughout the rest of the summer. So I remember it's like it's yesterday going down the Virginia Commonwealth games and seeing Brandon Geyer play a week after I got the job here. And so I was calling Coach Mac 2 or 3 times a day, just give him an update on recruits we're seeing and things like that. That was kind of the initial part. And, to be successful in college baseball at this elite level, consistency in so many forms is vital. But it starts with a staff that you feel is qualified and believes in what you believe in and the standards of the program. And Kevin McMullen's a fierce competitor, loves to win. He's incredibly prepared every day for practice and every day for preparing our position players to be consistently successful. And, the proof's out there. All you have to look at all the the players in the major leagues that have worn this uniform over the last 20 years. And, he, for our first 20 years here, he was our recruiting coordinator and was responsible for overseeing all that. And, I just look at the last two ball clubs. There's been so many of them, but the last two teams, from a position player standpoint, are as good as we've had in our 21 years here. And he's one hell of a coach and does a terrific job of not only developing the position players, but holding everybody in our dugout accountable to the standards that we believe in. And I just feel so fortunate that he has felt like for 21 years that this is home and this is the right thing for him to do. He's had numerous opportunities to go be a head coach. I don't want to speak for him, but I just believe he loves what he does, and that's developing young men and recruiting them to a great place. And I'll always be forever grateful of his loyalty and commitment for a long period of time. And I think it really speaks to who he is as a man. So.
What is your personal relationship become with him?
Excuse me?
Your personal relationship, your friendship, what is that?
Oh, it's great. I mean, you look at our two families. We have raised our children in this community. I've seen his three kids, as babies and grow up, and two of them be out of college, and one's a baseball player at Liberty, his last one. And our families have been very, very close for 21 years. And, you feel like his kids are my kids and vice versa. And so the great thing is about our relationship is, we can say anything to each other. And, when have the kind of relationship that you can be 100% candid and honest with somebody, that's something very, very special. And I just feel, as a coach being here for 21 years, that relationship is huge. And, it'll continue to provide benefits to the University of Virginia and our baseball program.
Yep. Greg, Justin, and Chef.
Chip Coons for Press Box View. I want to ask you about the resiliency of your pitching staff and possibly the job that you and Dickinson have done. Your fall rotation never materializes. Your spring rotation, two of the three guys aren't there until April. So twice you've had to remake your rotation on the fly, and yet you've won 42 games.
Yeah.
What's the secret? Why have you been able to do that in such a short time?
Well, we've been able to do it first and foremost because we have players that care, right? They're proud of this, and no matter what is happening, we recruited all of them for a reason. When things don't go your way, sometimes it's easy to point fingers and say, well, geez, Virginia, 2 out of the last 3 years, our pitching staff has been top 10 in the country in ERA. One of the top 3 programs in the country, not including this season, in the country in strikeouts, right? That's consistency. And certainly we've taken some blows that we don't have some guys in the dugout that we envisioned that we would have when the season started, but that's part of it. Everybody's dealing with injuries on a pitching staff throughout the country, and it's a matter of putting guys in the right places in certain times of the year. We have confidence in all of them, and they're not perfect. They're not going to do the job every time, and but what's important is that we are here. We've won 42 games. We are here. We are here in this moment. We're hosting. We're a number 1 seed, and figured it out throughout the year what gives us a best chance to win every day. And, listen, you look across college baseball, ERAs are inflated. The numbers are crazy where they are this year compared to where they've been in the past across the country. And it's just our job as coaches is to continue to develop them and put them in the best possible position to be successful. But it first and foremost starts with them and their want to be the best that they can be. And I've actually, I've loved. You don't like that you don't have everybody at your disposal, but I have loved the challenge of trying to figure it out, right? And that's our job, is to it's their one time. This is their one team this year, and our job is to put them in the best possible position every day to try to have success. And I'm proud of what that group has done, that's for sure. It's easy for people to look back in history and say, well, geez, they had this great pitching staff last year. Okay, great, but that's last year, right? And you put your team in a position to give them a chance to win every day, and that's what it's about.
Greg, been invested in time.
Yeah, Brian, seventh inning, Griffin goal game, the same with steal second, takes third on the fastball and scores. Sure, how key is that? Really takes off, kind of separates.
Yeah, it does. Griff O'Farrell's played in a lot of big ball games in this uniform, and he knows what it takes. And we took advantage of some things on the bases this game. That was the inning that hit that stolen base, and then the pass ball allowed him to get to third base. And that, you just don't know which run it is, and the difference of being on the mound and defending with a 2-run lead versus a 1-run lead changes things a little bit. It's not going to change what Chase Hungate goes out there and what his focus is, but that was a big one. And we had opportunities late in the game to create some distance, but we didn't, and that's a credit to Penn's good arms that they executed. Yeah.
Yeah, I asked Joe earlier, you obviously haven't had a lot of 14 games this year. Games. Just what does it say about just kind of pitching staff where it is now? I suppose earlier in the year, maybe Boston College years, the only time.
Yeah, I mean, it was Coach Mack and I said to each other after the game, boy, it's been a while since we've had a game like today, right? And that's what you love, that's why these guys do it at this level, is tight ball game, great crowd, great opponent. What's at stake, they get one chance to do this as a college player, and sure, would you like to be up 8 runs? Yeah, you would, but when you're in a tight ball game, it gives them an opportunity to bring something special out of them, to make that great play like Waylon makes, to make pitches like Chase Hungate does, because when it's a 1 or 2 run game, the margin for error is very small, and sometimes it's just one step. That quick first step of Bobby Waylon in the outfield to be able to go get that ball, or on the infield, or executing that one pitch. As a coach, as a manager, you love those tight games because there's decisions that come into play that you all question, okay? And that's great. That's your job, right? My job is to look forward to making those decisions. I don't shy away from it at all. It's one of the reasons that I love coaching college baseball, is to be in that moment and show the strength to make a difficult decision when it has to be made.
How were you able to have success against Wyatt Hensler? And do you feel like with an underdog at 4 seed that there's more of an emotional impact when you're able to hold down their top bat?
I think so. He's a great player. Wyatt is really, really talented. I watched him hit in BP, and the ball comes off his bat very, very easy. You can see why he's had 22 home runs this year and is the kind of player that he is. It comes down to these guys executing. I thought Joe executed the fastball away against him really, really well. Just put it on the black, and that's tough pitch to hit, and Chase did as well. And so, when you're in a tight ball game, you're always looking at the lineup saying, okay, when's that guy going to come back up, right? And can we manage it before he comes back up, because he's proven it in that uniform. And I just thought these guys did a great job of executing against him. And, it was certainly had a lot to do with us winning the ball game. And He's a very, very talented player, and it wouldn't surprise me if he's going to play this game for a long time.
Thanks a lot, gentlemen. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.